What's happening in real time, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin with Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, Kendrick Perkins. I'm Allie Clifton. Is that Kendrick Perkins is trying to do Road Trippin for the first time on a computer, not his cellular device. So this is him trying to connect to the world. Perk, are you there?
See, so technically Perk can't hear us talk about how, man, when you ain't got makeup on for TV, bro, you look aggressive in the morning. Why you always have a permanent frown on your face, bro? Can we get your eyebrows you should go and get massages, but where they just massage these muscles. Perk, I have never recommended Botox for a man, but like I think that might work for you just to kind of relax these muscles so you're not always doing this.
There is a thing though in the Botox world, and everyone can tell you, for those that are experienced, that if it's too late, it's too deep, which means you need filler. And this is the most dangerous. What do you call this? The groin
forehead? Your forehead?
The groin of the face?
No, the eyes are the groin of the face.
The groin of the face? Yeah. I remember when
Can you hear us?
We'll try the laptop later. Okay. We got to work on that. We got to work on that.
Bro, we were singing your praises over here, bro.
How are you beautiful people doing on this Monday? How are you beautiful people doing on this Monday?
Cheers.
Are you drinking alcohol at 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday?
First of all, how dare you ask me a fucking direct question like that?
You're welcome.
Secondly, what's in my cup is in my cup. What's in my cup is in my cup. That's all we have.
Okay, speaking of, good morning. Could we sip the tea and talk about the tea at the same time? We're not going to bury the lead. Obviously, all of you guys know that we are one here on Road Trippin, but outside of this space, we all carry our own responsibilities. For example, Richard and Kendrick Perkins are holding it down on ESPN. You've got Channing over here holding things down with Warner, Discovery Brothers, TNT. How does that all go? I got Spectrum Sportsnet, of course. But just dropping over the weekend is the latest news in our world. So you've got the face of, obviously, everyone's favorite crew, TNT.
Second favorite crew behind, obviously, Road Tripping.
Yeah.
They're joining ESPN, and they're going to handle some prime slots for coverage starting next season. Obviously, we all know that Amazon's coming into play. NBC's coming. I say all that to say, how are you guys digesting all of this? Is it's kind of in your worlds more so? And from your point, how are you breaking it all down? And also, I think for viewers, it's like, what does this mean now? Where are we going to be watching? What are we going to be watching?
Wait. Okay, everybody, let's just say context here, right? We understand professional sports is very similar to professional broadcasting sports. Sometimes if a team gets a really big free agent, that means other people about to go. That means other shit is moving. Other shit is moving, people. It is what it is, right? Do you remember when it was like when the Lakers got AD and they had to give away all this young talent? That's part of the nature. The way I see it is that is the best show on basketball. That's the best show. Everybody loves it. Put those boys on ESPN. Let's go have some fun. That's part of the nature of the business. I don't know what's going to happen next. I know that those guys that they're doing the finals, they're doing that in studio.
Christmas Day. Obviously, my job is primarily on the game side, right? Like I contribute to the studio, so primarily I'm on the game side. So even people will be like, well, that doesn't affect you. It does when you paying that crew $100 million. And they have earned every single dollar. I'll stand by those boys are underpaid forever. So I'm excited to hopefully have them on the team. My contract's up this year. At the end of this season. Perk just signed a 3-year deal, brother. That's called security, brother. That's called security, my brother. That's called security. My contract's up at the end of the year, so I don't know what that means for me, but I'm happy where I'm at.
How?
Do you feel that security that Rich is over there pounding?
I mean, yeah, so like everyone was blowing up my phone. It was like, oh, well, what does this mean? And what does that mean for you? And I'm like, I mean, I'm still me, right? Like I got my own space. Obviously, it's gonna be less work for me. But look, that's been what we do at our network, right? Like if it's a big fish out there, if it's a move to be made to go get one of these quote unquote superstars, you got to go and do it. They go and do it, right? Think about it. Right now, obviously, you have Stephen A. Smith that's there. You got Pat McAfee, Shannon Sharp, just got Jason Kelsey, right?
Oh man, think about Monday Night Football. They went and got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. That's what they do.
Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Jason Kelsey, Drew Brees. So when you have that inside the NBA crew, and you have an opportunity to go get it, you gotta go get it. And they was like, well, Perk, how does that affect you? I'm like, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be on the finals anymore. So I take advantage of what I got right now this year, being on the NBA finals. It's not like I'm not going to cover the finals or be able to voice my opinion about it on the daily shows. Again, you just got to, wait your turn, right? Like, I'm not mad at it. Hell, it's less work for me. Because when I saw the first thing I thought about, I was like, Christmas Day game. The Christmas Day, they have Christmas Day.
Yeah, you're not having to do that.
As someone that has done it 2 years in a row, mentally, you have to be there. No, I have done it two years. This will make number 3 right here, though, RJ. Look, you have to.
I've been working
there.
Christmas Day for 6 years, bro. Get your ass out of here with that.
What?
I'm joking.
No, I'm saying no, but what I'm saying is you've been on Christmas Day where you have one game because you calling the game. I'm talking about Christmas Day when you in the studio from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. That hit a little different.
Did anybody tell Shaq and Charles that?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I bet. Let them get one of those days. I'm not speaking for them, but I'm going to speak for them. How we do things at Warner is not how y'all do things at ESPN. They're going to have 2 games. They're not going to be there from 8 to 10. That ain't it. That is not how they operate. So you're going to say, what did AI say?
Channing, listen to me. Listen, Channing. That's fine. They might have to have some stuff, but understand you have to have a halftime. You have to have a thing. So
they're cool with that. No.
No, but I'm just
beginning, middle, and half. But they're not doing every game. They're not doing all the games.
Hey, look, and that's not it, right? So you have to understand. I don't know how the schedule is going to be this upcoming year. But obviously, Allie, you said NBC and Amazon. But I know one thing. I looked at my schedule this season for Countdown, and they obviously have those Sunday showcases or those Sunday showcases. Those are 4 games. That is 8 in the morning to 9 at night. Like, I don't know. Like, people don't understand.
Really quickly, just since we're talking company news and business news and broadcasting, like the number that NBC got, ESPN currently has 85 games, right? So that's the schedule that you're looking at. I think after it, they have 65 games. So they have 65 games. So they lose, a third or whatever of their of their total game package. So there won't be as many of them. And even Turner has the other crew. Even now, Turner has the other crew where it was at the time it was D Wade, it was Candace Parker, it was Shaq, like that other crew. That crew didn't do every single weekend. So there is opportunity. Everyone gets crazy. Oh no, there's always opportunity.
But I'm not mad at it.
Go ahead. I'm
not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, right? Like, you got to capitalize on what you got to focus on what you can focus on. I always tell Richard this. I know I'm going to be on NBA Today. I always want to hold my spot on First Take, right? Like, First Take is not for everybody. I'm a guy that loves to debate, but I do know that First Take – I love to debate because I'll be right majority of the time. Don't start your shit. But listen, and I'm gonna finish on this. Think about this: morning shows, Get Up, First Take. I even love doing PTI. Those they have eyeballs, right? Eyeballs present more opportunities outside of the network. So you capitalize on that space, and you move forward. I'm not mad at it. Hell,
it wasn't until we saw you arguing and debating on First Take that we were like, man, we need that guy over here on Road Trippin. We've always loved you, Perk.
Well, I mean,
but no, that's how I feel about it, though.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
No, but last thing,
Yep.
and they keeping not only are they keeping their entire like the four guys that are on set,
The
they're
production
also
staff.
keeping their own people behind the scenes as well. So not everybody kind of like, well, damn, what's up with me? Like, you know, like less producers for shows on ESPN. Like it's a whole lot of things you got to iron out, but I'm willing to bet, like Richard said, it's nowhere in hell that I could see Shaq or Barkley stand in the studio from 8 in the morning to 9 at night. It's nowhere in hell they're doing it.
What? No.
Hey, look,
They're gonna be like, hey,
look, I'm. Go ahead, Jenny.
They're gonna say, what are the top 2 games? Give us the top 2 games, and then other than that, you're gonna have to do. So many people's jobs are gonna get melded. We just found out NBA TV was going to be coming back. That's where I mostly do my work. And then I think in a couple of weeks, I'll be on TNT doing that Thursday show. But like everything is being produced in Atlanta and then sent, as much as I know, as much as people know, to ESPN or to ABC.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen is they're going to be like, hey, man, listen, we'd like to kind of work this relationship out. But this is how we've been doing it for 30 years. So we're going to stick to what we know works and is one of the most Emmys ever for any sports show. And also, these guys are older. You're not getting them in there 3, 4, 5 games. That's just not how they operate. They don't got energy like that. And if you want energy, they need 2 games max, right? Because they get, and I'm back there with them joking around. They get in there and they're arguing about the game before they even get on TV about stuff that obviously can't be on TV. But like for NBA TV, you got to think all these stations go up in the air. We're not even talking about streaming. You're talking about TV itself. But then if you read the contract, there's like 15 other streaming things that are happening Saturday, Sunday with Amazon, NBC, ABC, bless you. But then one thing Richard and I were both free agents after this year is between Amazon, NBC, ESPN, and obviously Bleacher Report, NBA TV, all this new talent gets thrown up in the air like an expansion team. And then now Amazon's talking about Blake Griffin. Then what's happening with the other guys? Draymond's already under contract. Then you have guys who have done it before. CJ McCollum, Tristan's been on ESPN, myself. Like there's so many young, talented names. Where do they put all these guys and who wants to fly where? Like I live in Portland and fly to Atlanta every week, 36 weeks a year. And so figuring that out is going to be interesting. And everyone at Warner doesn't know what's about to happen. And we just, we're just kind of like, as it goes, it goes. But, I do want to do this thing next year. But yeah, it's kind of sucks. I'm not an 8 to 9 type of guy. Yeah. Like I'll do a 6-hour shift, but that 8 to 9, brother, listen, that's tough. I don't know how Perky Lurky does it. But dude, I got a double header. I got to get in there at 4. I'm not done till 2.
But
so I'm cool with that. But
that's why when people are like, oh, this person, do you want to wake up and do First Take? Do you want to wake up and do all the prep that it's going to take to get on Get Up? Do you want to go and stay up late and do the Sports Center and Scott Van Pelt? Do you want to get up and do NBA Today and also refresh your takes and have different takes on different thoughts and go? Do you want to do that? No, you don't. Then shut the fuck up. Right? Period. I don't even want to do that. No, but it is tough. There's a lot of people that at ESPN, including myself, whose contracts are up in 6 months that you don't know. You don't know. Like, so it's just, but that's what makes it fun, bro. We in contract year, bros. We in contract year. Channing, how do we play in contract years?
They usually generate well.
Yeah. How do we play in contract years, Channing?
You
Okay.
pretty dang well.
Y'all don't want to pay me?
For
Watch
sure.
this. Y'all don't want to pay me? Watch this. Somebody gonna pay. Give me my money. That's how we
One
play
thing's
this
for
contract.
sure, we're going to continue to see all three of you in some capacity and excited about it. If not, we'll all be right here.
That's for sure.
All right. We're along for the ride. It'll be fun. Let's transition into some basketball. There's a lot of things going on our text chain. Who should be getting discussed, talked about, raved about, praised about more? And we can just go from here. The Houston freaking Rockets, we do not have a problem. My God, sitting at third in the West. Last 11 games, 9-2. One of those losses in overtime. Number 1 defensive field goal percentage per the statistics. Just put up 143.
I want Perk back for this.
I believe.
Wait. I want to go first. Go. Keep going.
Or the Detroit Pistons.
The motherfucking Detroit Pistons.
I felt like I just had to bring that kind of energy.
Okay, really quick.
For them, 6-4, 5th defensively. Last year they were 25th. You've got Nikola Jokic with 6 triple-doubles on the season. You got crazy-ass LeBron James with 5 triple-doubles on the season. Cade Cunningham behind them with 4. I mean, let's start with some positives. And Rich, what do you want to talk about?
No. I want to reiterate this. You guys are going to hear reoccurring themes. With a lot of teams, mostly we talk about with great teams, but let's talk about with the middle team, the second year. Ime's in there setting the standard, throwing guys on the bench, but you saw the jump. Remember, I said it last year that I thought that they would make a jump to the play-in. They were right there. They were exponentially better than they were the year before. And I said, I liked Houston. Now this is that second year where they're making that second year jump. And now they look like a relevant team. They know the standard. They know what they expect from Ime. They have veterans. Their young guys have been playing under a level of discipline. So now they make that jump up, right? There isn't the more, we're just going to fuck around, shoot these shots, do it. No, they're playing with a level of discipline that jumps them up. So I'm not surprised to see I'm not surprised. I'm impressed, but I'm not surprised because you look at that second year jump that either players, organizations, or collectively when you get 2 superstars together. We talk about how many superstars have won championships in their second year in places or their second year with the group. Kobe did it with Powell. Bron did it in Miami. Bron did it in Cleveland and with the Lakers. That second year, you make a big jump. That's why I don't know what's going on with Milwaukee.
Perk?
Go ahead.
Thoughts on Houston?
Perk's got a delay.
Yeah, I want to have a moment. It's early, but I hate to pat myself on the back, right? I don't like to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to stay humble. But look, and listen, it's early in the season. Shit, it's early. But I picked the Rockets to make the playoffs this year. Whether that's through the play-in tournament or they finish the top 6 seed. Because guess what? My grandpa always told me, iron sharpens iron. It's okay, again, it's healthy to have competition in the locker room. They have a deep squad mixed with a few vets, right? And Fred VanVleet. You have Jeff Green, old man, shout out to my boy Jeff Green, who's sitting over there on the bench, right? Who's balancing the locker room. But you have so many young guys that are competing night in and night out for minutes. We talk about a guy like Jabari Smith, right? He had a huge night over the weekend, but he was a guy that wasn't playing in the fourth quarter a lot, right? They was going with Tari Easton a lot. They have so many guys, to the fact that Cam Whitmore was assigned to the G League. Cam Whitmore on other teams could be getting real, like 20 to 25 minutes off the bench. Like, he's that damn good. But that tells you how good of a team the Rockets have. The kid, the Thompson kid, Amen?
Yeah, Amen.
The twin,
Amen.
right?
Yeah.
He's backing up Fred VanVleet. They have so, huh?
I'm saying he's nice.
What you said?
He is a freak. Amen Thompson is a freak.
He's nice, but he's coming in off the bench.
As he should. Earn it.
Yes, but he's coming in off the. But look, this Rockets team is going to be a force. They're going to get into the postseason. Ime Udoka is doing this thing. That's all I got to say. I mean, I picked them to get into the playoff team. I know it's early. Fuck, don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump off the porch, but I jumped off the porch. They're getting into the playoffs this year.
I can see that. I think just because they talked about the Rockets, I'll talk about JB and the Pistons. And it shows what culture and accountability does. Like, you can get all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a coach that guys believe in and he doesn't give them structure, it doesn't work, right? Obviously, let's start at the top with Spo and obviously Steve Kerr and Pop. And then now we consider Joe Mazzulla, right? And then you look at the new young guys. Obviously, the OKC coach. You look at Ime. You're looking at even Mike Brown, what he did. The right coach makes the biggest difference in the world, and it's unbelievable that this talent that Detroit has. JB came in there, and everyone's like, well, why did JB get fired from Cleveland? And sometimes it's just time to move on. Sometimes it's time to rebuild at a different place. And it's not like JB's not a great coach, because you see what he did in Cleveland. But I think it was time for him to re-show and rehatch what he had taught Cleveland to a new young crew. And they bought in. And now, for me, when you look at organizationally, now as a GM, I can figure out what is Pistons basketball. I can start to make trades. I can start to draft in a way, instead of just going to get talent, I can go get vets. I can go get the right staff. I can go get the right players that are going to complement my main guys. And also, you're seeing them play with enthusiasm and a belief that they can win games. And that's what's scary. So, especially this early. Hopefully it stays this way, but they're like the Sacramento Kings of the West, right? They're like this mid-team, but everybody wants them to do well.
The Pistons are fifth in the East right now, though they are a game under 500. So is also the fourth team in the Eastern Conference. Yeah.
Alice. Yeah. Shannon, you in the hotel room?
Yes.
Bro, stop being cheap and pay for the premium Wi-Fi, bro.
I did.
That's all you gotta do.
Perk. Like, all three of us can hear each other perfectly. You are the fourth person that's on a delay.
Trash. And I did pay for it. It wasn't working.
Yeah, yours is the delay. That's why you keep getting.
What you said? I ain't pay my Wi-Fi bill.
Right, yeah. Hey, Perk, clap. Hey, Perk, clap when you can hear my clap.
Stop it.
Hey, hold on. Fuck that.
Dead.
There's no way.
So dead. Rich, that was so good. Okay, really quick. Speaking of that.
No way it's that bad.
That is hilarious.
I learned that during COVID when everybody was remote. They were like, all right, we're going to do a clap test. See the delay.
That's so funny.
That was trash during COVID. God, it was trash.
That is the worst. Just to wrap up this context, obviously with the Pistons, I love seeing it. I love the early success. And to your point, Channing, I hope they sustain it. They're sitting at 7-8, but obviously you're seeing things click and work well for them. I think I came across that stat where last year it took until January 8th or 15th, like middle of January, for them to pick up their fifth win.
Dude, it's crazy.
And they did it in November.
Sorry. I was going to say this. Think about if they're 500. Think about if your team is 13-12, 12-13 after the first 25 games. The way they've lost, what happened?
You're right in the sleep suit. Oh, I got to plug it in. I got to plug my Mac in.
Like, that's a huge improvement, right?
Okay,
like
I had to go reboot. I had to go reboot.
Let's try the clap test again. Now. Do it again, Rich.
Okay, ready. Do it again, Rich.
All right, ready? Clap when you can hear my clap.
We're back. We're back. Oh my God,
we're back.
I have a really fun game that we should play on here. We'll save it for another day, but there's a time for it. That'll be really good. That's kind of off that clap game. Okay, moving on. Now that Perk, you are back, I'm going to go to a tweet that you sent, and I believe Channing said, I didn't see this, Perk. Jokic has been out the last 2 games, and the Nuggets are 0-2. At what point are we going to have that conversation about Jamal Murray?
Fellas,
we were asking the same thing in Atlanta last night. We were like, where is that? Where is that fire, that ego, I'm the best player on the court attitude? It just seems like, and this is honest truth, it seems like everyone else got better than him. Like it feels like AG is more important. Michael Porter Jr. is more important. Like we've heard about Christian Brown more than him, right? But it's like, where did his game, and we knew he didn't look that well. Dude, he was out of shape playing for Team Canada, right? And then he comes into the season. I'm like, where is this fire, right? Jamal would always like be that second super consistent dude where, we'd have to have real conversations about why he's not an all-star, right? And now this year, we're just like, I look at him and I'm like, is he tired? Is it like, what there's a disconnect between his confidence and the way he's moving and what we know him from the past. And I don't remember a guard like that having such a drop over a year, except for Ben Simmons. That's another thing. But go ahead.
Okay, really quickly, he got hurt in that Timberwolves game that we were doing. He wasn't having a great game at that point in time, but misses the next 3 games, right? Shows back up at home in the Heat after missing 3 games with I think his concussion protocol. Plays 35 minutes, has 28 points, 9 for 17, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Plays against the Mavericks, 18 points, 7 for 17, whatever. It's not great. 2 for 6. Then obviously Jokic has been out, 16 points, 13 points. So again, we can jump on Jamal. And even the 2 prior games he had before, they weren't great efficient games, but it was 17 and 24 points, right? So it was like, we talk about there's 15 games in there, maybe 15 games into the season. He's missed 3 games with concussion, comes back, has 28-18. His best player then goes out. He has 16 and 13. He might not look right, but when you start breaking down the box score and breaking down what he's doing, he does need to take a jump. But there's been 15 games into the season, got off to a slow start, like a lot of people have seen, missed a couple of games, and then shows back up and has 28. So I'm not saying that he's not someone we need to keep an eye on. He's someone that we shouldn't have concerns about. We don't have a large enough sample size. We can say we got to keep an eye on Jamal, but I'm not going to jump up here and be like, Jamal, and he go look at the stats and say, okay, missed 3 games, had 28, had 17. Jokic was out, didn't play great, but he still is coming back and it's his 3rd game in the last 2 weeks. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm not concerned.
Kirk.
I am. And look, because why does he continuously get a pass? Like,
what pass? What pass?
Every
what
season.
Pass? What pass?
Every regular season. Because every regular season he gets a pass. Like, we're watching so many guys elevate their game in a regular season right now, right? A guy that we watched him go toe-to-toe with in the bubble, Donovan Mitchell, right? Donovan Mitchell is not like sitting back and chilling. Donovan Mitchell hit the ground running. Now, you have a piss-poor performance the way that you did in the Olympics. You would think you would come back and attack the season in great fashion. The way that Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels made you look last year when they eliminated you, you would think that he would come back this season, by the way, signed a fresh new contract extension. I mean, damn. So you pointed it out the other night on TV, Richard. What is Jokic like? What was his averaging more points than who?
Averaging more rebounds than Tim Duncan, averaging more assists than Chris Paul's best assist numbers, and averaging more points than Shaq did in his best year.
My point exactly. So
That's
Jokic
great.
has to do all that shit. Where is Jamal Murray? 2 years ago, we were literally talking about how these 2 dudes was the best duo in basketball. Why hasn't he taken that leap? I'm trying to understand it.
What I'm saying, and Perk, I get your point. The only thing I'm saying is, off to a little bit of a slow start. We're watching. Takes 3 games off because of concussion protocol. Has 28 points. He's back to okay. That looks like the Jamal Murray.
They play
Miami.
Okay.
You know what I believe?
Okay, now we're going to disrespect. Okay. We're going to just say
it
wasn't the Wizards. It wasn't Wizards.
Miami is not good.
It wasn't Toronto.
Miami is not good this year.
Richard, all I'm saying
is, if this was another player, we wouldn't be giving him a pass.
Thank you. I'm not giving him a pass. Shannon's not giving him a pass. Richard is. Richard is.
No.
A pass that he takes every regular season off.
Okay, really quickly.
Until he plays.
Let's use this context. Let's use this context. He missed a whole season with an ACL, comes back, wins a championship, goes all the way to the finals. Now, he hadn't played basketball in a year. Goes all the way, wins the championship, one of the best players in the finals, right? The next season, I think he tried to do Canada basketball. He was gassed. The following season, he didn't have a great season. The Laker fans aren't asking about who Jamal Murray is. So he goes in the post. He didn't play great. It was this, but he was also coming off his first full season after an ACL and then going and playing 100 and something games. I'm just saying that's a lot. So when I look at him and say he's off to a slow start, yes, he's off to a slow start. Nobody's arguing. That's not a pass. We're not going to talk about it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. He still hasn't played 25 games. At 25 game mark for any player, it goes to a sample size.
All right, okay. I didn't came to the conclusion. Shannon, Allie, y'all can chime in. We just stop holding them to the standard of an all-star in the regular season. He's never been an
all-star. He's never been.
Well, he's never going to be one. So I'm cool. I won't hold.
We already discussed this. He's never going to be one. Richard, De'Aaron Fox, way better than him this year. Steph, crazy. Luka, Kyrie, Booker.
This comes from the same guy that said Steph was never going to win another championship. So I'll hold that.
Who said that?
Nobody said.
Perk did. Perk got his own segment. Got his own segment on the podium. He got his own segment on the podium.
I didn't bring up Steph, Cupcake. I didn't bring up Steph.
I said never. I'm not listening to somebody that says somebody's never going to do something because I've already seen be wrong.
They did it. So what? You didn't been wrong. You're wrong right now about Jamal Murray. You just won't say it.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Let's transition before this gets out of hand.
No, it's not.
Too late.
We're under control.
Oh, our definitions of being under control. Very different. According to Hoops Hype, global rating, speaking of the Jamal Murray conversation with the Denver Nuggets, 0-2 without Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis would be the MVP of the season as of now. AD 1, Nikola Jokic 2. Again, I know it's early, but we're also talking about veteran players. We're not talking about guys that
I watched AD dominate. I've watched AD dominate. AD has been impressive. If you told me that that's how it shook out, I could see that. It's not because this is my thing. Jokic is the best player in the world, as was LeBron for 12, 13 years. He didn't win it every year. His numbers, his stats might be the best in the league. But are we saying who's the best player? And that's why the MVP argument is so annoying. It's like, are we saying who's the best player? Who's the best stats? Who's the most important to their team? The most valuable player? That's where it gets, everyone grays these lines. And it's most likely a combination between the three. If we're looking at what player has been the most valuable to his team from raising his level and playing at the best level that he has played with, I could see Anthony Davis making that easily. There's an easy argument for Anthony Davis. And that's a fucking huge compliment that Anthony Davis has elevated himself into the level where you can make arguments for him against Jokic for the MVP. That's a huge thing.
I was going to say, I think we're actually at a point too, where to your point of best player, best stats, and whatever your third one was, you can
most valuable to your team, most valuable player. That the name of the award is the other part.
Yeah, but I think with these two specifically, at least right now, you can compare all three of those categories for those two individuals. Because just like Denver is 0-2 without Jokic, the Lakers, you see what happens when Anthony Davis is available. Yeah. And it's only happened once this year, but we see, obviously, in terms of the MVP most valuable. Perk.
Look, right now, my top three candidates for the MVP is, in no order, is Anthony Davis, Jokic, and Kevin Durant. Phoenix looked like shit without KD. I mean, let's be real. They have the personnel though. Like that game that they smoked against last night.
Minnesota.
The game that they smoked against Minnesota. Like, how can you not win that game? If you have Kevin Durant, you win that game. Devin Booker, I believe he had like 40. He lose that
44.
game. The only thing that takes away from Anthony Davis is the fucking play of LeBron James. Right? That's like
take away?
No. I'm saying if we had the like far as the MVP, because it's like fuck, Braun putting up triple doubles every night. Fourth quarter of the Pelicans game, back-to-back threes that like snatched their soul. You like, what the fuck, right? So it's a combination of both of them. Jokic, on the other hand, man, that team would be in the lottery. I think that without Jokic, that team would probably have 2 wins. They would have the worst record in the league.
They'd be in the scratchers, not even the lottery. They'd be.
But okay, again, I know we get into these hypotheticals, but who has more support around him from a standpoint? No. Hear me out. Who has more support around him? I'm asking. This is a fair question. Jokic or AD? Because in my opinion, Jokic Jamal Murray, I know our feelings about Jamal Murray. Just stay with me. When Jamal Murray's playing Jamal Murray basketball, he's one of the best. Hear me out. We saw it against the Lakers. We just saw it in the postseason. Didn't play well against those young boys in Minnesota, but the Laker fans don't want to see Jamal Murray ever, as long as they live, right? So this is what I'm saying. Jamal
they
Murray,
want to see him. They want to see him with a JJ Redick coach team.
Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. So if you look at their top 3 next to Jokic, I'm asking a question. His top 3 next to Jokic. Do you think that Anthony Davis has a better top 3?
No, you forgot about Aaron Gordon.
I said Aaron, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray. Jokic's top 3 compared to not
is better than the Lakers' top 3.
Who is Michael Porter Jr.? That's another question. Like, when
he's
is
who
he?
we thought he was. He's a bucket, bro. He's who we thought he was. He's a shoot first, second, and third and he's actually improved defensively and rebounding. He's an NBA champion. That's who Michael Porter Jr. is.
He was the number 1 fucking player coming out of his class, right?
So was Cam Reddish.
Has he even scratched the surface of his fucking ceiling? No.
Yes.
No, he hasn't.
Yes. Hey, if it quacks and it swims, it's a fucking duck.
I love that line.
That's who he is.
That's who he is. I don't know if he's got another level, Perk.
Dude, that's what I'm asking.
I think he's got a 20-point-a-game shooter scorer.
Very good. Perk,
he's a 20-point-a-game.
He's one of the best shooters in the league.
Michael Porter Jr. right now is at 18 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, 40% from 3.
3 assists. That's who he is.
So
be that for a decade.
So basically, what y'all telling me is he's a really great role player.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I think he could be the 3rd best player on the championship.
No. If we say he's a great role player, that's what we leaving it at.
For me, I think he can have a statistical year where he plays so well where he can hit the All-Star. But when you think about hitting the All-Star, you expected it. Is he an All-Star player? That means multiple years he will either be in the game or contending. I haven't seen him show me that. So I believe you when you show me that every single year I can count between 17 and 20 at 40% from you.
Right now, I'm taking Austin Reeves over Jamal Murray.
Hang on, really quick. With that said, Perk, who would be the 3 for the Lakers surrounding Anthony Davis? Back to Rich's question.
So I would go obviously Braun, right? Austin Reeves, and hold on, I gotta. I'm almost sold
Dalton?
on the 2024 Larry Bird. Just I need to see a little bit more. I'm talking about Dalton Connect. I'm almost sold on this motherfucker, but I need to see a little bit more out of him. But this motherfucker is
got some dog in him.
Did you see the irony with what happened on Saturday?
No.
I watched the game. What happened?
The surrounding context of all of it, that pick was the Pelicans pick, but they deferred it to have the Lakers pick in the 2025 draft. And then Dalton had his best game at 27 and 5 threes and beat New Orleans. Basically was the reason, Perk, to your point, having an out of body game, but so smooth. as if he's been there.
But he's one of those people that he knows that. He knows. Dalton Knecht is one of those people that are like, oh, wait, I could have been a Pelican, but they deferred and the Lakers got my rights and drafted me. So those motherfuckers didn't want me.
That's been his path. Yeah. That's been his path all through college. He got the fucking overlooked. He was the fucking SEC player of the year. Motherfuckers knew that he was real, but that whole, he's old age shit, you know what I'm saying, with these GMs and all this old stupid ass shit. No, he's a guy that you could plug in right now. He's not giving that spot back. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay, I do want to ask you guys your take. You said Dalton Knecht is the 3, okay? How about this interesting stat? This season, the Lakers are 8.2 points better per 100 possessions when D'Angelo Russell is on the court, and 12.1 points per 100 worse when he's on the bench. During the winning streak, they've got the longest winning streak in the Western Conference, 5 games. They are 19.9 points per 100 better when he's on, 5.4 points per 100 when he's off.
So I wonder what the
wait. Let me say this. Let's take into account when he's going in the game versus who. Thank you. When he starts, he be getting roasted. When he comes off the bench, he is.
Do you know who has some of the best plus minus in the entire league? Jokic's teammates. The more you play with him, the more that plus minus.
There's still a role to be played, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's not all said in that.
He's been an all-star. He has been an all-star. So obviously he's not an all-star anymore. If he comes off the bench, he still can control the pace of a game. He is most likely going to be better than most teams' second guards. Also, when Braun goes out, he can play his game. JJ is allowing him. So imagine most guys that come off the bench are specialists. Make D'Angelo Russell a specialist at screen and roll when he comes off the bench so that he can be comfortable. He doesn't have to play AD and LeBron basketball. He doesn't have to play starter basketball. He can play in that second unit who likes to get up, playing with Dalton Knecht, playing with, Rui and all these other guys that are moving, cutting. He's coming off that screen with Jackson Hayes, and he gets to play. So, of course, he's going to be better because the offensive players aren't going to be as good, and he's not being put in a situation where he's getting screen and rolls every single time. So, congrats to JJ Redick for finding a spot for him, and congrats to D'Angelo Russell for balling out in that role.
Can I have a moment? Can I have a moment? Can I have a motherfucking moment? Look, JJ fucking Redick. Let me give him a whole lot of props, okay? Started off the season, they came out scorching right at the crib. Go on the road, they get their ass bust. He called out his team publicly about not playing hard. He make an adjustment far as his lineup, bring D'Angelo Russell off the bench. D'Angelo Russell responded in great fashion. Anthony Davis has responded to JJ Redick since the start of the season. LeBron James has responded to JJ Redick since the start of the season. Okay, they come back home, they go on the win streak at the crib. Now, we're ready to see, can that translate over to the road? They go in San Antonio, they're down. They're down early. Victor's pumping his chest. All of a sudden, they walk that shit down. They get a win. On the back-to-back, okay, no Rui Hachimura. Dalton, you in the starting lineup.
No Cam Reddish.
Huh?
No Cam Reddish as well.
Dalton, get your first start. We go in this motherfucker and we go get this win. What I'm saying is this. We all know how competitive JJ is in the media space. He's just as competitive on that fucking sideline. So to all the other 29 coaches out there, when you playing against the Lakers, it is not just you, the guys that's on the floor. You motherfuckers better strap y'all shoes up who walking up and down that sideline. Because JJ ain't playing no games at all. At all. At all. I got to applaud him. I thought they was going to come out to a slow start. I was skeptical about him and AD relationship. So far, JJ has checked all boxes as being like having the ceiling of being a really good ass coach for the rest of his career, to be honest with you. I'm telling you, that motherfucker can coach, man.
To your point, though, and I think he's creating an environment that breeds competition, right? Cam Reddish gets put in the starting lineup. Max Christie gets taken out. Max Christie hadn't played great, but still a young player. There's no judgment. But it's like, then all of a sudden, Max Christie gets an opportunity. Rui's out. Now Max Christie is like, not only have I watched Dalton Connect outplay me and play well, I've also watched that I could be on this bench. So he gets into that game. That first half against the Spurs, he's blocking shots, saving ball, crashing the glass. He's doing it all because he's like, oh, this young boy, Dalton Connect, can go. If I don't do my job well, there's Cam Reddish. I'm out. So he played with such intensity, and it's not fear. He played with a level of intensity and competitiveness. So once you start breeding that through the culture of positive competitiveness, if I get in there and do my job, especially when I'm watching other people do it, because if I'm just like, oh man, coach playing the rookie, they will get you out of there and bring someone else in that will be competitive. So it's your choice.
I want to know from your guys' perspective, how JJ, I guess, has been able to, from that space of, I think in particular with Max Christie, to not lose him. Like, what level of communication does that take to not lose a player that you will need, but is like going through it, and then to be able to do what he did in San Antonio and then didn't shoot it as well, yet you have Dalton going off in New Orleans, yet you've got JJ praising you for the little things that, I don't know. I just think there's something to the effect or level of creating that healthy competitive environment that you speak of, Rich, that is like not easy, but JJ has somehow made it look easy.
When you don't avoid confrontation, a lot of coaches avoid confrontation, and it's awkward when you don't play a guy. But if you like Alvin Gentry, when I went to the Suns, he'd be like, yo, Channing, I have you slotted to start half these games. The other half is going to be up to either you playing or their lineups, because we need to win. And Robin is going to come off the bench those other games, or even, Lou Amundsen when we go small to play Golden State. He goes, but I'm going to prepare you, right? Or even T. Lou says, hey, Channing, this week, this roster or these lineup, man, this isn't that good for you. So you're not going to be playing 24 minutes. You're going to get 12 to 18 because Richard is going to play your spot. But then he goes, but I need you to work on this for the next 2 weeks. So JJ is very straight to the point, analytical, and not emotional, right? He's not emotional about, hey, I'm doing what's best for the team. And as a player, when you're given that space to operate and you go, hey, for you to get minutes, give me this, or work on this, or do this. When you do it and then you see something reciprocated, you continue to do it. So it's not BS. There's no BS. It's a simple goal for the team to win, and JJ's job is to give them that best chance. So certain nights you may do it, certain nights you won't, but at least he's thinking about you as a player to go, I'm not going to put you in here to get roasted. I'm going to put you in here to help us and elevate us, because I'm going to need you in this situation maybe later down the line.
Well, to your point,
I gotta get this laptop shit together because people keep calling my fucking phone back to back.
Okay.
Like I'm not fucking taping the fucking show.
The thing I was going to say about JJ, when we had dinner on Thursday night, and he said, Richard, I had no idea how much podcasting and connecting one-on-one with players while I was doing that for a few years. I got to sit with so many NBA players, GMs, coaches, but you learn how to connect one-on-one. So if I have to have a difficult connection, this is why it's easier for JJ. He's done every role that the NBA's asked. He was a rookie that didn't play a lot. So he knows, I got to stay in the gym. He turned into a 17, 18, 19 point a game scorer for multiple years. Then he turned into a starter, right? Role player. Then he turned into a bench veteran. So he knows how I like to be communicated to. I've been in locker rooms for 20 years. I know how other players would be frustrated. So I'm going to approach this with, whether you like it or not, this is the best way for us to move forward. I want this from you. If you give this to me, I can play you. If you don't, we have open communication as to why you're not playing. If I hire you to be a shooter and you're shooting 25%, Are you surprised that you're not playing? No. But if I hire you to be a shooter and you shoot 42%, you should be surprised that you're not playing. That's where it is. Eliminate the confusion.
And guess what? When you look around the league, how many head coaches do you see that was actually franchise guys? One. Jay Kidd, when they was players.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Chauncey.
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 Okay, yeah, right.
Respect. Oh, and the Blazers have been doing way better than I thought this year.
He called them out. He called them out. He said, if you accept this, you fucking losers after they got smoked by 45. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is, if you look around the league, a lot of former players, a lot of coaches that were former players were role players because they understand both and understand role players, right? Like, I think even with Jay Kidd went through a learning process even when he first became a head coach, even, you know what I'm saying, with Giannis and how to adapt to others on the bench, right? Like how to go get the best out of this guy or how to keep this guy engaged. But I think when you're a role player, you know that a little bit, it comes to you naturally. Like I was a role player, let me make sure I hype this guy up. Like what JJ said about Max Christie, he was like, what he said, Ali, he said something along the lines of, if you play like that, I don't want to take you off the floor, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that's the shit.
That make you run through a wall.
That's the shit.
That make you run through a wall. Like, as long as I do this, I don't have to come off the floor.
But I guess my point there is the fact that there was some nurturing or some sort of communication to what you guys just broke down, and we can move on from this conversation, is that Max came in, got paid this summer, $32 million, 4 years, had a hell of a summer. Coaches are raving about him. He's been the one in the gym the entire summer, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden he's not in the rotation. He doesn't play for 3 games, but his ability to respond the second he gets that opportunity in San Antonio. Yeah, JJ can say it after the game when you play like that. But for him to even play like that, there's something going on behind the scenes is what you guys just broke down from JJ, and you give him his flowers in that moment. That matters. Okay, I want to take the last 8 minutes of this podcast, safe space. You guys can give me one thing we haven't talked about on the podcast that stood out to you in the last week or so, or that you want to rant, and rave. There's the word. All the things and rage about. Perk, we'll start with you.
Luka Doncic. That's what I fucking want to rant about. Listen, we got to stop letting him off the hook. Okay, enough. Now, real talk. Enough is enough, right? Like, do you know he's lead? Did I talk about this with you guys already?
No.
We haven't had this Luka conversation. Do you know he's leading the league defensively with blow-bys? He has 43 of them. Leading the league. He's not even putting forth the fucking effort to go out there defensively. If you watch him on plays, he's doing this. I got beat in the secondary NFL coverage every single time, like pointing the finger. When is the fucking body language going to stop? When is he going to start sliding those puppies? I'm not asking him to be Derek White. No one is asking him to be Drew Holiday. No one's asking him to be Andrew Wiggins. We're asking you to be a leader and put forth some fucking effort and fix your body language. You know why? Because it's contagious. So if you're Jay Kidd, which I know Jay Kidd is I love Jay Kidd and what he brings to the table, gets the best out of players. But how can you hold guys accountable in the locker room when Luka actions has never changed, right? One, you didn't come into camp in the shape, so that was a problem. Two, it's everybody's fault but yours. And last night, I thought for Dallas, it was a great team win for them to go beat Oklahoma without Luka. And I hope Luka was watching to say, you know what? Let me get my shit together.
Hey, really, just to hit the numbers, Perk, Luka's averaging 28 a game, 28.2. This would be his lowest since his rookie year. He's shooting 42.5%, which would be the lowest of his career. He's shooting 32% from 3, which would be the second lowest in his career. So when we start looking at Luka's numbers, 42% from the field, 32% from 3, and 28. He's Luka is great. All three of us would kill for 1 year of high school basketball with these fucking numbers, right?
I had them numbers.
I got those numbers.
But he is not playing like that. He is not playing like Luka. He's not playing an average version of Luka. What we're seeing is a below average statistical version of Luka, and you can put those stats in front of him. Those are just what the numbers say.
40 again. I'm done. 43 blow-bys, the most in the NBA defensively.
Well, how about to your point? Offensively, he's having one of his worst statistical categories across the league, and then defensively, he's one of the worst blow-by people in the league. That's a bad combination.
Yes.
Yeah. Great, love it. Perk, Channing.
I think one thing we didn't mention was, why is Steph Curry not an MVP conversation? Like, at no point did we think Golden State will be back to where they are? And Steph is doing things and playing the way that he can and they can. So I just want to say that first. And then secondly, I think we need to give credit to guys like Sabonis, Joker, because he's not playing because he's injured. He's playing because of a personal issue. So Sabonis, Zubac, Joker, the guys that play night in and night out and are bruisers at center. And to me, I feel like as a big man, you know, the American big man gets such a bad rap, but we don't have a heavyweight fighter other than Joel Embiid, right? Because he went to Kansas. And so for me, I'm like, man, where is that next American big man in the NBA? And the only dude that I can think of is Bam. And he's the only one. And I want more. And I'm just looking around like, dog, there's nobody.
Well, you think about some of the top picks though. Ayton, Wiseman, Bagley. Like, think about some of the 6'10" hyper skilled that were supposed to be dominant, big opportunities. Those are the last three off the top of my head that I can truly remember that were all top 3 picks and were supposed to be dogs.
But why?
The European big man is killing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bam. Why? Like, watching him in the Olympics. Watching him in the Olympics. Why is his numbers down? 15-8, 15-9.
The Miami Heat are devoid of talent, and that's the honest truth. It's hard to win. He's not an offensive first guy. Like, they try to get him going all the time. He is not a 20-a-night guy for you. It's just not who he is. Like, you know how we were complaining about AD not being aggressive offensively? Bam is great when you –
Yes.
He is. Yeah. This is who he is. Is he great? Absolutely. He's great as your second or third best player, because then he could say, what you need, I could be the best defender, or you need to be a screen and roll guy, I could do that. But to ask him to be – he's the Andre Iguodala of centers, where you could just ask him to do it all, and he could do it, but he can't do everything great. It's just not who he is. And we want more from him, but he's shown us that that's not who this team is. That's not who he is, and that's not how they win.
I love that. I also love your point at the beginning, and we can carry that over to the next podcast in terms of Steph Curry and the MVP conversation. But can we also just accept that we got to let go of what the Warriors used to be, because personnel is not even the same? That is not like, let's just appreciate them and take them at 10-2, sitting atop the Western Conference for who they freaking are. And I agree with you. Steph should be a part of that MVP conversation. That's for next week's podcast. Rich, you can end.
No, I honestly, I ain't got nothing. I love Channing's point. I was going to follow it up with, like, I think the next time we get an opportunity to really break down, like, you know, on any one of the various shows, I'm going to be like, here are the 2 players that I believe should be from each conference in the MVP conversation based off their team performance. Here are 1 player from each conference that I believe statistically should be in the MVP conversation. Let's not, like, to your point, Channing. Okay, who are the top 2 teams? Who's been playing really good basketball? Yeah. Okay, Shea, they're number 2. Steph, those 2 guys, those are the top 2 on my list. Statistically, okay, Jokic, boom. Those are the 3 guys. Now that's how we start the watch. Yeah. On the Eastern Conference, I'm putting Donovan Mitchell up there. His team is 15-0. Don't tell me that undefeated. One of the best. He is the leader. His team is playing at a historic pace. Donovan Mitchell's the fucking leader.
Yeah.
Then you go to, okay,
Boston.
Jason Tatum, you Jason Tatum is like, okay, is Jason Tatum, how has he played? Okay, his play and statistic, he's in that category. Now I'm going to take a guy and say, this is how you got the Jokic MVPs. This is somehow you got like the Russell Westbrook's MVPs. Your numbers statistically are so great that we can't ignore you should be in that conversation.
And you know whose name would come in there?
Who?
Karl Anthony Towns.
That's what I'm
saying.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, your team is good and you're playing at an extremely high level. That's how the MVP should be geared out, right? That's, in my opinion, we're not putting enough weight on having the number 1 or number 2 seeds over 82 games.
Right.
Speaking of 82 games, we can end this podcast here because obviously we love our Cavs and they are 15-0. I did come across a tweet the other day from, it had to have been a Cavs fan that said, at what point do we start thinking about a team going 82-0? Will you guys please bring them back to earth?
I honestly, I hope you guys go 82-0 and win a championship. Don't lose a game. As far, well, I'm not bringing him back down to earth. Why would I ruin that parade? As far as I'm concerned, you will never lose a game ever.
The fact that they can rest Donovan Mitchell 15 games into the season and still win against a very Charlotte Hornets, if they can scatter those things along and still win, and what I'm seeing is, what I love about Kenny Atkinson is on that screen and roll with Darius Garland, they are getting better. He's not dying on that screen. He's rotating correctly. That was the one thing I was worried about small guards, right? They're showing, getting back. They're forcing everyone to Jared Allen. So health is one. And then their defense on that screen and roll with Garland. And then we haven't even talked about Max Strus coming back. Dude, Georgie's was balling last game. Their bench is amazing shooting. It's been amazing to watch them. So I was a little hesitant. I'm less hesitant.
You know what? You're right. Cleveland, go 82-0. Have your moment.
Let's go. We love this.
We love it all.
Listen, just know this. Remember this, Cleveland. No, if this Cavs team goes 82-0, they go undefeated and win the championship, it will still be the second best championship in Ohio history.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You guys are undefeated, even if you're not still playing in the NBA.
I've never lost.
Appreciate this podcast. With that said, remember to follow our socials, X, Twitter. Obviously, follow us on YouTube. Rich just bounced. We'll have the game of the week this week. Last week we went 2. Maybe we'll do 2 this week. But stay tuned. That's another edition of Road Trippin.